So now we're recording.
Wow. I can't go back in time.
No, you can't go back in time. Like, we literally could have had 2 minutes of this episode done. But instead of hitting the record button, I pressed the wrong button. And we were just talking to the void.
Wow. Well, we're here. What did they say? Back at it again with another episode.
Take two. Don't mind me, y'all. I have been having quite the week. I've been moving. I've been grooving. I've been posting. And
Yeah.
and now Persian over here is over here tired of my shit.
All I'm saying is I don't like to repeat things, I don't like to repeat movies or books or what I said. I had really good things.
I mean, clearly you don't like to restart stuff because I asked you about acrimony that you ain't seen 2-3 years ago, and yet you can't even tell me how she ended up on the boat.
I don't like watching things again, but I will dissect the ending scene mostly for laughs and giggles, but also to let you know that it was just a yacht. There was probably a ladder.
I gotta make sure that it was audible that time. But nah, just give a quick recap of what we were just talking about. I informed her of the Powerpuff Girl by the name of Bliss. Apparently, I described her as if she was a porn actress, which I'm like, no. She just so happened to be a taller, curvier version of and black version of the Powerpuff Girls.
No. What he said was, he said there's a fourth Powerpuff Girl. She's curvier, but she was sent away because she's, what did you say?
Oh, that
Erratic with her love.
Oh yeah, she is very erratic with her love and emotions.
It sounded like a porn.
That is what coming from the woman that does not watch porn.
I don't, but it did sound like a porno. Like somebody was like, Powerpuff Girl, porno with Bliss.
I mean, they had to keep the B names. They ran out. Like, you already got Buttercup, Bubbles, and Blossom. So, yeah, Bliss.
That don't sound like a... You know what?
No, hey, just because we have a very close kinky friend as also by the name of Bliss does not mean that you could discount the, Powerpuff Girl that was sent out to outer space because she couldn't control her emotions.
Sure.
The Black Powerpuff Girl sent out into space because she couldn't control her emotions.
Okay.
All right. That's... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Big Letter, Little Letter podcast with your host, Hedo.
And me, Persian.
She said jam the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a little snitch.
This is coming from the guy who didn't press record. Let it go, Liz.
You know what? Fair. But yes, welcome to another episode of this lovely little podcast. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Send an email or a comment if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, or, just want to share a story. We are more than happy to have that on this podcast.
Absolutely.
Ooh, don't forget to deep throat the mic so that people can hear your lovely voice.
Absolutely.
Ooh, okay. Don't mind me not hitting that record button released any tension and made everything silly. But we do take this very seriously, We are in the middle of our big little Kinktober. We got through the first 6 days of it. Going to bring you another week. Be sure to follow the Big Letter, Little Letter on Instagram, or you can follow also me, Sir.Hedo on Instagram, where we are going to go ahead and keep those posted. We even got it going on Twitter. And I'm just sharing it everywhere, because I'm a fan of sharing knowledge. Now, am I an educator? Am I an expert? God, no. I can't get I know things. I ain't go to school to be no expert. I ain't go become no teacher to be no educator. So I leave those titles to those that really work hard for it. I just happen to know a thing or two.
I feel like you work hard for it.
Yeah, but I don't go to school for it. Like, I'm not gonna.
Nobody went to school for it.
Some people did.
Nobody went to school for it. And even if they did, they didn't learn anything there.
I mean, look, you put up the student loans just to call yourself a sexpert, go ahead and do it. Same for those people that want to be a doctor because they study literature at the doctorate level. You got it. Go ahead. You go be doctor or whatever. But yes, we are again back to talk about part two, the second
Ooh, 11,
section.
11.
Oh, 11:11 for you. It's 10:12 for me.
Make a wish.
But
Don't make a wish.
see, she found out she got ADHD and now she is on full blown like I'm coming out part two, where it's not the queer version,
I'm
it's the
not.
brain ADHD version.
I'm not. But what I will say is that I feel like ever since I got diagnosed, it's made it hard to mask the way I have been my entire life. So it's hard for me. I mean, granted, I'm also lacking routine and I'm trying to figure out if the Wellbutrin works, which you can't do if you're masking because I'm back to pretending. I can't pretend if I need to know if the medicine works. But it's been a long 3 weeks.
Hey, I found out what five, no, about 6 years ago, about 6, 7 years ago, and I'm still trying to figure this shit out. So you're fine. You're
Oh,
further along than me.
it gives me so much hope.
The fact that you are able to recognize that now, you'll be fine. In 3 weeks, psh, hell, I was over there 3 weeks later. I was celebrating the fact that I'm not a failure. So yeah, we saw those. We got our messages very differently, but let's go ahead and get back to the kink stuff. But even before we can get to the kink stuff, let's talk about what have we been up to.
Well, I was previously telling Hedo that I've just been pretending to be a productive member of society until I could be a kept woman. But also, today I went to an event held by Dom Sadie um, called Rapid Release, where we got to explore rope in a more sensory exploration kind of way. And it was really cool. It was also our first event as a dynamic of my daddy, and that was cute.
That sounds like a good time. I think I saw that posted on Instagram not too long ago.
I probably shared it.
Maybe. But no, that's
It
what's
was a
up.
really good event. So shout out to Dom Sadie for helping people find other ways to explore rope. I feel like a lot of people don't want to do it. You know, as Black people, we have a difficult relationship with things like rope or bondage. So getting to explore rope, like dragging it across the skin, just feeling it on top of you, like those are great ways to explore what this one thing feels like for you.
All right, that's what's up. Because I would say, actually, this weekend I had a discussion like that with somebody, a couple of people. Well, that was because I went to the first meetup for the Houston Black Munch, where my good friend Lady Aspen, she went ahead and created this. I'm a part of the leadership team. Don't
Oh
ask me
my
how I got
gosh.
that role. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have it to help out.
We know how you got that role.
Hey,
Don't downplay your importance. The people know and love you.
aw. But I would say it was a great turnout. Had quite a few people there. Had a raffle. Got to talk with some folks. Got to meet a gentleman by the name of Lord Master Sawago.
Oh.
Um, so got to chat with him. Pretty cool guy. We honestly he came over because like essentially I'm the person that's gonna help run the impact session for our next kind of like meetup, skill share munch. Like it's not gonna be a munch
Ooh.
next month. It's going to be a meetup for a skill share. And so I'm leading up the impact, and he came by to like talk like, huh? So all right, so you're the impact guy, and then we just got to start talking. Yeah, he's an older gentleman. He's been at this for a very long time. But we started just bouncing, like, talking about various things about how we kind of go about, like, what we enjoy about Impact, what we do, like, use for Impact stuff, and, like, learned that he started making his own stuff because, like, he would buy a flogger, but it doesn't do what he wanted to do. And it was hard for him to
Ooh.
convey to them what he wanted it to do. So he started making his own stuff. And so that's how he go about it. Um, Even like what he is now more proficient in is fire play. But also, we also discussed rope because we had another lady there who's also a part of the leadership team who deals with rope. And
Oh,
we had a discussion about rope where, because I said it, I dabble. I'm not full blown into it because I know there are certain levels that rope can get to. And then the gentleman was like, "Oh yeah, I learned that lesson a while ago because because again he thought he did rope. He thought like, yeah, I'd be tying people up, but then he met someone that really be like bonding people. He's like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, like what was it like? He showed him like was it like he even said like he bonded. He was like, I can show. Let me show you. I'll bond someone and have them orgasm without even touching them. To
What?
which I could exactly. I like, huh? And it was essentially how you use the rope in order to get certain reactions from a certain person. And it's like he was essentially teaching them that like rope is just a lot more than just simply tying a knot. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right because that's his rope is time consuming, is very intimate. There's a lot to go on with rope,
It is.
and that's like kind of like what you were discussing, where it's like with that the Dom Sadie's rope thing, where it's like, yeah, rope is a lot more than just simply, oh, I got you tied to your bed.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I have a wide variety of skills. And sometimes you just like mesh those things together. And I happen to know about pressure points in the body that release very specific emotions or orgasm. And I'm just like, you could really get that going with rope. And I need to meet this person.
I'm about to say, you're talking about like the pressure point at the bottom of your foot.
There's more. There's so many
I know
points
there's so
around the
many more.
body.
The easier one is, I would say, the bottom of the foot one, because even I discovered that accidentally, but
How'd you
like,
do
huh?
How'd you do that?
Because it was like legs up in the air, my hands were here, and then as she was coming, I ended up like gripping where my thumb was on the bottom of her feet, like the little cuspy area, but it was like right above the heel.
Mm.
And the way that she clenched, I was like, okay, I did not know what just happened here, but I'm not mad at it. And like the fact that he brought that up was like, it just clicked. Like, oh, that's what happened that time.
You found a button on your toy.
It's a button I need to explore more among others, but I've been busy.
I
But
got cute feet.
hey, noted. But no, besides that, I haven't been doing too much. I've been trying to make sure I keep up with the calendar, getting these posts out. I'm moving
Mhm.
next week, so I've been trying to like at least do my best to be proactive and get things packed and get things set up, so it's not like a last minute thing. But there's just so much that go into moving, and so many deposits, and so many bills, and so many things. I'm like, oh, fuck it all. Let me just go move home with my mom and be like, you know what? I'm a bum. But
No,
but then I remember I got floggers, and she would never understand. So let me get my own space again.
uh, no, don't do that. You're doing such a good job.
But no, that's honestly I just been keeping busy, aiming to have as fun a fall as possible. It's been a busy summer, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure I set myself up so I can have a great time the rest of the year before we head into 2025.
Cheers to that.
Now, we don't want to hold the people up too long. We're just gonna go ahead and just kind of give a quick rundown of the upcoming week for the Big Little Kinktober calendar.
Yes, which Hedo will continue to post about because he is so great, so factual, so on point.
See what I
Plus, he
mean
has
by
got
see
all the
what
pictures.
See what I mean? She just pass it on to me, just like, yeah, he don't got it. Like let the
He's
big
got
letter handle it.
all the pictures, you know?
Shout out to Google. Google has been clutch. Um, it's really been help, especially with the sensor deprivation one. That one really helped me out where I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to get all this. Like, I don't know how to set this up. But then again, I use my ADHD powers with procrastination where it's like, fuck, I'm running out of time. I gotta hurry and do something together.
And you did. And you did great. I can't wait until the end of the month. I'm gonna rock your world and then go to sleep.
That would be amazing. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about what we got going on Monday. Monday will be, we have it set as temperature. Honestly, meant to be put as temperature play. Now, the reason why we're going, honestly, the reason why sensory deprivation started off the week is because the
The week
overall,
starts on a Sunday.
yeah, it starts on a Sunday. And the overall reason is we are going with sensations for this week. According to our lovely little letter that helped put these things together.
Yes.
So we are focusing on sensations, and so sensory deprivation was the first one. That's what started things off, and now we are going to move on to temperature play. And
Yes.
honestly, when it comes to temperature play, it is not the scariest of anything. Like, we will save the scary stuff for the very end.
Yeah.
Temperature is very tamed. It could be something as simple as using hot oil for a massage or getting some ice cubes and sucking some dick. It's not the most high difficulty option. Now, of course, there could be some issues of safety if you're not careful. If you're using something a little too hot, something a little too cold, you can cause damage to people. But if you stay within a certain range and be mindful of the implements that you're using, it can be a really good time. Especially if you mix it in with a level of sensory deprivation, you can use that anticipation and kind of give different sensations to somebody. Make their nipples got a lot of clench up. Make that. I don't know what I was about to say. I mixed up my words and got like them little bit yeah, that.
Listen, a good measure. This is too much. Is when somebody says, "Ouch." That's it.
All
Learn
right,
to listen.
and go ahead and take care of the next day, Miss Persian.
So on Tuesday the 8th, we'll be talking about texture, which is super exciting because I'm a texture girl, you know? You know those pillows that have those sequins on them that change colors when you swipe it up or down? That's texture. And like those furry rugs, that's texture. And also, I think I already told you guys that I got hogtied in the softest grass that I have ever laid in my life. That was good texture. But these are the things. That's what I'm talking about.
And yeah, and also it could just be used to dance on the skin. It could be an actual item. Like, you can just get like a cotton ball. You can also go on the hard end of things and bring some Legos on a paddle.
Legos on the past.
Look, some people are sadistic and some people are just right out mean. All right, and for Wednesday, the complicated term is oralism, but honestly, what that means is you get turned on by certain sounds. Now,
Do the voice. Do the voice.
do the voice. What
Yeah.
voice? What voice?
Do the voice.
What voice?
Do the playtime voice.
The what?
Do the playtime voice.
Let me see. Let me get my gum out my mouth. Ahem. So I don't know if what she's asking for is this voice, where I try to remain calm and make sure that I am very direct with what I'm trying to express. But oralism is essentially enjoying sound. It's sound that gets you turned on, it gets you activated. Now, these sounds can be moaning, these sounds can be scratching, the sounds can vary. They do not dictate what you get turned on by. But for one reason or another, those sounds just get you going. That voice?
Yeah.
All right, you got the next day.
Okay. I guess it's since I'm giggling already, but this does not make me giggle. Not in a happy way, in a sad, sad, angry way. Thursday, the 10th, we're talking about tickling, which can be that extreme things that your cousins used to do to you when they would hold you down and they would tickle you until you cried. Some people like that. Or it can be simple, like running a feather along the body and creating that ticklish sensation without it being too much.
I will say I have seen a couple of podcasts that had like was it the New York Tickler or some gentleman up in New
Oh
York
God.
that likes getting tickled and he's been on podcasts talking about it.
Ah, I
But
have to look that up.
I think he wore a mask though, so people don't just see who he is. Because you know some kinks you can't just let the world know that's you.
Could you imagine if he was walking down the street and somebody just tickled him randomly?
First off, why are you tickling people randomly? Get your grubby fingers away from my tickle spots. I wouldn't be mad if he fought somebody.
No.
Maybe he caught a nut, but still he got to swing at somebody.
Just because they know who he is. Yeah, I would cover my identity too.
All right, for the next day we have leather and latex. Now again, it's just you have some people that thoroughly enjoy the feel of leather and latex on their skin, and they also enjoy the look that it may have. When it comes to leather, there's also a section of like a community of people that enjoy the leather that they're rocking. They are the leather community. All of them
Hmm.
are not bikers, but some of them are. And they help like you will have what are they called? The onyx pearls.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Onyx Pro is like an example of a leather community, things of that nature. They host various events. I am friends with someone that won, I believe, for Texas, Mr. Leather. I need to double check that. Shout out to Mr. Thaddeus Twist. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, and again, latex it does vary because it don't have to be a latex suit. It could be something like a latex bed that compresses you. So it just varies in that aspect. I will have to get creative in how I'm going to express that one.
It should be fun. I mean, no, we ain't got time for that. Because I'm like, I know so many people in leather. Also, shout out to Deja Flames, who just won Northeast Boot Black,
Ooh,
is in the leather community.
don't forget the mic.
Dang! I said, shout out to Deja Flames, who just won Northeast Boot Black. So there's working with the leather, and then there's like being part of the leather community. But, find your king,
Ooh, good thing we got boot black in next week.
right? Maybe we should bring somebody on. Anyway, later thoughts.
I mean, I could go ahead and take the next one because the last one might be even more your speed. Because the next one we have is vampire
No, it's
gloves.
my favorite.
Vampire gloves your favorite or the other one?
Fine, I'll talk about the other one since I know
Actually,
more.
no. You go ahead and take care of both.
Bold.
Yep.
So much responsibility for a little like me.
It's okay. I'll go ahead and create all 7 posts for our IG.
Okay. Well, then on Saturday the 12th, we'll be talking about vampire gloves, which are just delectable, delectable things. They're basically gloves. Are they leather? Are they like pleather?
I mean, they could be leather, pleather. There's a variation of like it is a leatherish texture, but they can be
What
leather,
is
vegan
it?
leather, pleather, etc.
Well, whatever the gloves are made of, the most important part is that on the inside hand piece of the gloves are spikes. Now there's different type of vampire gloves. There's some that have lots of spikes, some that have a little bit of spikes, and then there's also ones that have small spikes and ones that have really big spikes. And these are a really fun sensory type game because you can play around with pressure, you could play around with tickling even. You could play around with scratching. Ooh, they just so yummy.
Yeah, if you have the proper metal attached, you can use them with electroplay, or you can use them as a form of restraint where you place them on somebody and kind of mess with them to where they can't really touch themselves. Otherwise, they'll end up scratching themselves.
Mm. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I gotta get my own pair though.
I luckily found a pair of extra large because I couldn't find double XL, so XL had to do.
You found a pair that fit your giant hands.
I mean, they do a good enough job.
We're gonna get you a pair that fits your giant hands one day. How hard can it be to sew some gloves?
It's actually pretty hard because, you know, capitalism. If there's not a lot of niggas with extra large hands, why you gonna make a lot of extra large?
But I mean to make them, and I'm not saying that like my DIY um will get into this, but I am gonna think about it for quite some time.
All right, I'll hold you to it then. And now, what we got for the last day?
Something fun. Everything is fun. Next Sunday we'll be talking submissive positions, which
Okay,
is my own specialty, but I almost wanted to see how you would describe it.
submissive positions.
Yeah.
I would say the best way for me to describe it is these are learned positions for a bottom, typically a submissive or a slave, that follow upon the request or demand of their dominant for them to follow in any given high protocol situation.
That's so good. I taught you well. Good job.
I
Make
just
sure
pulled
you
that out
clap
of my.
after
I just
recording.
put that out my head. Like it was like, ah, shit. Let me pull out my ass real quick because this is what it looks like. Like I just
This
cleaned up.
is
I
it is what it
I
is.
cleaned up the language. Just like, all right, this is the best way I can express it. It's just typically. I mean, not typically. Technically, it's a tool within the BDSM world because I express to people when they ask me like what's the difference between all these various things, like, you know, top, bottom, dom, sub, master, slave, rigger, rope bunny, blah, protocol. That's it. Protocol. That's the main answer.
Protocol.
Protocol's
I
the
mean, pretty
main
much.
difference.
Protocol tells us what to do and when. So yeah, submissive positions is something I learned in a more high protocol or formal space. The did I? Yes. The first time I learned about positions was actually at um, formal dinners hosted by Limitless Lux. And we learned positions specific to serving dinner. So, how to wait, how to serve, and things like that. So, that often comes from traditional, like butlers do positions. And I feel like that's essentially where they came from. But then in more high protocol dynamics with like, it could be dominants and submissives, but more often with like masters and slaves or Kajira. Submissive positions can mean lots of things and could be used for different types of things like serving, waiting, um, how you offer up yourself to your Dom Master Top. Um, and also, if we're talking about the lore of Kajira, the position that a slave would get into to offer themselves as a slave to the person. And in the book, they either had to accept or kill you, but we're not doing that here.
Nope, nope. I think that is still illegal in all 50. Wait. Yeah, all 50 states and U.S. territories. Yep, still illegal.
Yeah, we're not going to do that because we're all about consent here. So, again, while these things are like offerings and are things that seem like someone is giving all of their power away, ultimately, like they have the power, they've opted into this consensually, and this was discussed.
Yep. But yeah, that's essentially going to be the week that we have coming up. Yeah, the primary focus will be on various textures and temperatures, and it's just all about the I can't say sensual, but more.
Sexual seduction.
If you don't get your Snoop
Okay.
Dogg ass on somewhere, but no, we're essentially focused on things that kind of activate the senses. There we go.
Yes. I can't wait. I actually had a really cute idea for a post today, but as you can see, it's 11:35 and I'm yawning because there's no air in my body. So that post is not happening. But I will try to do at least two of them this week on my own page.
See, there we go. She already got a couple up, so kudos to her.
I do, I do.
But yeah, be sure to follow. I guess yeah, this is where we're just gonna wrap things up. Be sure to follow the podcast on Instagram, Big Letter, Little Letter. You also can follow us on Twitter. The letter after the letter before Y, before W. No, the letter after W. There we go. Twitter. See,
Yes.
Twitter was so much easier. But yeah, go ahead and follow us on Twitter. That would be Big Letter Pod. And you can email us at bigletterlittlepod@gmail.com. Questions, thoughts, stories. And we'll be more than happy to get back to you and read them on the podcast. As far as Jam, you just behave yourself on the Big Letter, Little Letter IG, and maybe she'll let you follow. You can follow me at sir.hedo on Instagram, sir_Hedo on Twitter, Sir Hedo on FetLife, and yeah, you find Sir, you find Hedo, you'll find me.
Wow. Well, if you want to see what we've already posted for Kinktober, just search the hashtag Big Little Kinktober on Instagram.
Yep, it's all there. And if you no, I already got everything covered. Feel free to follow, share, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, because we just want to get the word out there so people can learn a little bit more about various kinky things that they can explore. And we'll just catch y'all next time.
Stay kinky.
Bye, y'all.